and then Chimera was no more. I was exhausted after that drawn-out fight, and worried that might affect my performance in the end-world chase level. The headquarters icon was replaced, but not by the heckbeast face. Instead, it was a crucifix. I was completely stunned. I wasn't excited about seeing the heckbeast icon again, but there were only one good thing about those levels is that they were predictable. I had a basic idea of what to expect. But now here I was at the end, and the icon was completely different. What did it mean? And why a crucifix? It made me very uneasy. I attempted to start the level with Solomon, but couldn't. I noticed that simply stated, Solomon can't enter here. It didn't say why, but I think maybe it has to do with Solomon's demonic appearance. Since Solomon was out of the question, I went with Godzilla instead. Once I saw the level, the crucifix makes sense. The level was a graveyard. I was still on edge, thinking this was some kind of trick. The last level had always involved running from the demonic beast. And I wasn't going to be fooled into thinking this would be any different. So I started out running, but after a minute without interruption, I slowed down. It was during this time that the music caught my attention. I knew it sounded familiar when I first heard it, but it took a while before I realized it was an 8-bit rendition of Prayer for Peace from the first Godzilla film, a very sad, powerful song. Even in this form, at 2 minutes into the level, I encountered something I wasn't sure how to react to. My first instinct is to run, but this blue statue is being simply floated into place, and I felt compelled just to stare at it for a time. Since this was a grave and was floating over a chapel, I guessed that this was some kind of angel watching over the deceased. It gave me a strange but warm feeling. I wouldn't say happy, but I felt that I was in peace somehow. I had never seen this being before, yet it seemed very familiar to me. Just as I was about to leave, the heck-beast appeared, and its presence warped the music into a terrifying, disoriented screeching, and transformed the level, desecrating the tombstones as a new ground appeared, comprised of blood-soaked bodies. I could feel my heart now beating out of control. I had no chance of escape with the monster that close. It lunged for the kill, but the angel got in its way. The demon roared and started clawing through the angel's leg, and tears of blood streamed from its eyes. I wanted to save the angel, but there was nothing I could do. It had honor to its sacrifice and run. I had to honor its sacrifice and run. And so I ran through this heggish landscape as fast as I could. The beast soon caught up with me, still swallowing the body of the angel, whose legs had torn off. And this sight made my terror change into anger. I now found myself hating this horrible creature. There was no doubt in mind that it was pure evil, and I wanted it to die. When I got to the end, I remember how it responded to my insult in trance. I spoke to it and said, "You are going to pay." This was its response. I had no idea how how I would follow up on that threat, and nothing could have prepared me for the horrors of the final world. Zenith.